Hello folks, Denobi2 here. Thank you for joining me once again on a semi-room tour, maybe, perhaps. We're going to be working on a little bit of, I guess, maintenance update with the Moducases. So for you folks out there who've been following me for quite a while, early on, I pre-ordered my Moducases in 2018. I ended up getting the Moducases early 2019, and then as the years moved on, I would keep getting segments. So I never fully dropped a huge bill. I mean, Moducases are just plain ass expensive. It's just my first big purchase was what you're looking at here. This is the north wing, and I call it north wing because my loft here on the third floor is perfectly aligned with north, south, west, and east. Exactly north, east, and west. As I kind of touched on in my last video, as I was USB hacking the gold and black suit. So now, this isn't to complain about Moducase and their current technology, because here's the kicker. Moducases actually, they've gotten better. They've shown improvements. They've made some huge strides with their actual Moducases from the first set that I got up until current. They've made some really huge strides, but I'm not here to talk about their improvements. I'm here to talk about the first North Wave, which I got, is that I ended up just getting spotlights. The problem with these spotlights is A, they run hot, and majority of it, I'd say probably 70% of the spotlights that have been incorporated with the North Wing of the Moducases have burnt out. They're just bad. And it's not the actual per se LED. It's not like these lamps burn out. It's the actual LED drivers, and I'm gonna pull some out at the end of this video to kind of show you. They get too hot and they just fizzle out. I don't know. Now I don't know if it's shoddy equipment supplied by Moducase, or if it was me and my daisy chain and tactics, because here's the problem, is that with these little spotlights, they each require an outlet, and I learned a lot. This first wave of Moducases, I learned a lot. I really did. I learned, as I moved forward into the west wing, the east wing of the Moducases, I learned that I needed to incorporate more outlets, power strips, power surge strips, remote control devices and such, so that way I can just turn on the lights on and off by themselves. And so I may have, it could be me. I mean, these LED drivers that were first provided by Moducase, I could have shortened them out myself by me daisy chaining. But here's what's interesting is that the failed LED drivers, because majority of these lights, and I'll show you, I'm gonna pull the camera here. This is the arcade center. This is Joker's arcade. This is where sin happens, and these little lamps have just burnt out. They burnt out about a year or so ago. It's just dead. And this whole wing right here, this whole section here, all of the little LED lamps that are plugged into the Moducase LED drivers that were provided, they're gone. They're just burnt out. And you're like, well, what's the big deal? The problem is that to maximize space within the room, I pushed these things really tight against the wall. So it's not like I can just walk behind these Moducases and start replacing drivers and outlets and such. This is about 4 inches is what I left. I left about 4 inches all the way, you can kind of see there. And the idea was to not to have it so close to the wall, and honestly just to give it space so that the outlets can breathe and so forth. You can kind of see it's just a big electrical fucking hot mess. It's a hot mess back there. It's just rough. And this is the first wave of Moducases that I got, and this was a learning experience. I learned a lot from this first wave, that I was able to make dramatic improvements with the other Moducases. The next wing was the east wing Then after that, it was the west wing over here. Then the south, all the way over there. And then the last bit was the actual corner unit over there, so forth. So moving forward, every Moducase has USB outlets and regular plugs. Each and every one of them. Everything over here. They all have their own independent hidden plugs. And the idea is that in some cases, I can hide the power strip within the actual collectibles. In fact, you can kind of see it back there and turn on the light, but you can kind of see the outlets. And in some cases, they're right there. So there's always a power outlet in every Moducase. This is really, really important so that it doesn't staunch my creativity and imagination. If I want a USB hack, as Hot Toys evolves and so forth, I want to know that if Hot Toys makes a product, I can just plug and play. I don't have to limit myself to having a static piece, because if you folks have followed me, bringing these figures to life, it's just with the when you plug them in, it makes such a huge difference. It really, really does. You can kind of see there, kind of just showing you examples of why it's so important to have outlets. I've had just to kind of give you an example here, the Empire Strikes Back. Can you guys hear that squeaking? Boy, Loki's going to town on that toy. We ended up buying him a new toy today. So because I was able to incorporate outlets in all the units, I was then able to go back and make USB hack improvements. Like, for example, Darth Vader is on a remote control plug and he's powered up. So is Luke Skywalker. And because I know the power supply's there's USB outlets and regular AC outlets, it doesn't staunch my creativity. I can just go to town, where a lot of these droids are they're just powered and so forth. It's all USB powered and so forth. And these walls, these units, the west wing, the east wing, the south wing, it's all on remote control for the most part, but not the north wing. The north wing is not. Again, because it was just the first one, and it wasn't until, hey, how do I turn this crap off, right? Now, I did incorporate hidden switches behind the actual Moducase and so forth, but everything else runs on remote controls except the north wing. So, and you can see that on this side, all the spotlights are dead. It's not because I turned them off. It's because the LED, I'm assuming the LED drivers have burnt out. Because I've gone in and swapped a couple. I've had extra LED drivers before, and I swapped them out. They've turned on, and then after a year, they just fizzled out. Again, I don't know if it's a defective product provided by Moducase. I know of one situation where I may have daisy chained a couple of the lamps together, and it may have just fried itself out. But again, this is a couple years after I received the north wing. This is a lot of the electrical issue probably was 2021. 2021, 2022. Remember, this whole unit was built by 2019. I would say 2 years after I started encountering electrical stuff, electrical gremlins and shit and so forth. So the plan is on this video, I'm gonna remove the spotlights, little hidden things, these little 2 dots right there. I'm gonna remove them, and then I'm gonna install super cool, low efficiency, energy efficient, that produce very low heat light bars. So this wonderful company called Cefrank, they reached out to me, I'd say about a few weeks ago, and they wanted to know if I would like to sample their LED light strips. It's more of like a light bar. Yeah, I would say it's more of a light bar. This is definitely the way to go, these light bars. I've known for a while, I don't need convincing using these. I've known probably for the last couple of years that, yes, everything here is pretty much accurate. It emits low heat, energy saving, easy installation, super bright. It's just, I should have never went with the spotlights. I thought using the Moducase spotlights, it would have been classy, and for a certain point it was classy, but I didn't know that they ran on LED drivers and they tend to overheat and fail. I didn't know they had a constant habit of failing. But yes, so Cefrank reached out and they wanted to know if I'd be interested in trying out their product. And I needed, honestly, a kick in the ass because I knew that I had failed spotlights from Moducase. And I asked them, I go, you know what? I replied to them, I really do actually need to replace the light in on my Moducase. And I asked them, I go, if you folks provide 3 of the sets here, I'd be more than happy to endorse it and incorporate it into kind of like a Moducase video. But I've lit them up, super bright. Again, this is really the way to go. These light bars, and I do like that it comes with the little sticker. It comes with these little steel brackets. This doesn't look very secure, this actual double-sided tape, but I feel confident that these little steel brackets are gonna do the job to keep these permanent. And also, but I know that behind that wall, there is still a remote control, an actual remote device that powers them. So the idea is to go in, remove the little shitty spotlights, and install the Cefrank light bar. Now, I just like that they run cool, energy efficient, and so forth. I know those LED drivers, those things were running super hot, and I know they were pumping in some power. They really, really were. So I'm gonna start by removing those spotlights. Most likely, Joker's Arcade is probably going to get renovated. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to change to. This was the whole idea of this section, was to put rando figures, figures that typically don't have a home, non-DC, Marvel, or Star Wars per se. But for example, like Bill and Ted, right? Where do you put Bill and Ted? Well, why not have them teleport in a time machine, telephone booth into Joker's Palace, and so forth. It was just more of a fantasy type setting with an arcade where anything could honestly happen, and you would end up meeting unique characters and sinful and just expected debauchery to happen around here. You can see it's barely on, like it's receiving power, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, what's all that about? So this is just, I'm gonna essentially unscrew it, cut it off, and right here too. I don't know if I can show you here. Right there too. Like these are dead. Like, well, this one's dead. Oh, sorry. This one's dead, but this one is glowing. You can kind of see it barely glowing. Turn off the light here. I ended up removing the spotlights from the top unit, middle unit, and then I'm probably gonna work on Jabba's Palace down there below, probably later tonight. But for now, and each of these kits, it comes with 4 of these light bars. But I'm thinking I don't need all 4. These actually pump out a lot of light. So I am thinking maybe just use 3, which is the beauty of this actual kit, is that this is the power source. You can plug in each of the light bars to each of them, but you don't have to plug in all 4 to make this work. You can plug in 1, 2, 3, or 4. I am thinking I only need 3, so it probably would make it even more energy efficient. I don't need a lot of light. What I'm looking for is uniform light on that side of the Moducases, and that's the whole idea. Spotlights that I'm just chucking on the floor there. They're going straight in the trash. First level of the Cefrank light bars have been installed. Let's turn it on. Jimmy the light. Oh, see, that's perfect. Oh yeah, that's more than enough. That definitely works. Rinse and repeat the steps for the second level and the third level. This final light test. After this, I just have to, I gotta hide the cables, which is gonna be the challenging part. So let's see what this looks like. Oh, that works. That absolutely works. I gotta hide the cables here. Wow. Hopefully the camera's capturing. Yeah, see, it's a big ass difference. You can see, this is what I'm talking about. Wow. Oh man, this bites. This is what I'm talking about. Uniformed light, it just blends in. And over here, on this level here, and second level, it's an old LED. It's not even cob LED. It's the old school. Let me see if I can even zoom in. It's the ones that was just right after like 2019, and then I don't even think not Hot Toys. Amazon sells this one anymore. It's the cheaper one, but that was, I want to say I got it at 2021 when they started to fail. When the LED drivers started to fail, that's the one I turned to for the first and second, and then the bottom ones, I believe, a couple of the spotlights still work, and then I implemented some light source. I forgot. I know that the light down here at the bottom on this level is not the same as this. So again, this is just kit bashing compared to what Moducase in the later years started incorporating. You can definitely see the big difference in the light. Oh my God, my back is killing me. Fast forward 2 hours later, I had to move a lot of stuff, a lot of figures, just a lot of cleaning in that corner over there. And I was able to access the additional transmitter to the remote control, and it's working. Ta-da! All of that, a lot of work. And what's cool is that I paired it with the West Wing's center one right here. So same button, which will activate a lot of the stuff over there. But yeah, and turn that on. So that's off because I'm going to bed. I am tired. It is 1 o'clock, at least close to it. Special thanks goes to Cefrank for providing the materials to make this project so worthy. It was easy installation. Oh, I did promise you folks out there what the LED drivers look like. So this is it. This is what I fetched. I went and I scraped behind the Moducase, and these are all the failed LED trans. And you can kind of, the LED driver. Oh, hold on. Fast forward. Okay, the LED driver, and look at that. Talk about a fire hazard. Now I don't know if this is, because I did run, so there's like extra additional slots. Oh, show you right here, focus on here. There's additional slots on this terminal here, and I may have exceeded by plugging more than what the actual driver. But still though, this is still a fire hazard. I mean, this is still pretty dangerous, and this isn't the only one either. I believe a few more caught on, this one, yeah. Like, this is wild. Look at this crap. This was overheating behind my Moducase. This could have been a fire hazard. This is outrageous. This is insane. But yeah, all of this for this Moducase right over here, for that, was just replaced by this. So yeah, it was worth it. The other Moducases, as I move forward, are working fine. No issues, easy setup, no problems at all. It was always this one. It was always the North Wing. So again, special thanks to Cefrank. If you guys want to get your own light bars, link is in the description. Like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Whew, I'm tired.